Good evening. You're watching the news at 6 with me, Shan Russell. The news at 6 is all about the day's biggest developing stories, and we'll be filling in on them over the next half hour. But first, the headlines that we're tracking right now. India rejects Pakistan's proposal to hold Foreign Secretary-level talks on Kashmir, asserts that terror remains the core concern, and Pakistan has no local stand-by in addressing any aspect of the situation. All 89 DMK MLAs suspended for a week from the assembly for continuous disruption of proceedings. Trouble erupts after AIA DMK members make some remarks about the pre-election program of DMK Treasurer Stalin. Centre names new governors for 3 states. Najma Heptullah sent to Manipur, Banwari Lal Purohit to Assam, and VP Singh Bhadnor to Punjab. Jagdish Mukhi appointed Lieutenant Governor of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And at the Olympics, PV Sindhu keeps India's medal hopes alive, causes huge upset by beating world number 2 Wang Yihan of China in straight games to enter the semi-final. Our top story this evening, India has turned down Pakistan's proposal for foreign secretary-level talks on Kashmir. The government has asserted that terror will remain the core concern and Pakistan needs to address that first. Indian envoy to Pakistan, Gautam Bambawale, today handed over India's response to Pakistan Foreign Office on Pakistan's invitation for talks on Jammu and Kashmir.
India on Wednesday rejected Pakistan's proposal of foreign secretary-level talks on Kashmir. The government asserted that instead it wants to discuss the cross-border terrorism that is more relevant to the current situation in Jammu and Kashmir.
आतंकवाद को लेकर के सारे विश्व ने चिंता प्रकट की है। आतंकवाद का जन्म कहां से हो रहा है, उसको प्रोत्साहन कहां से दिया जा रहा है और पाकिस्तान की उसमें क्या भूमिका है, ये भी अब बात कोई छिपी नहीं रही है।
Foreign Secretary S. Jaishankar responded to Pakistan Foreign Secretary Aizaz Ahmad Chaudhry's invitation. Expressing willingness to travel to Islamabad, he maintained that Pakistan had no locus standi in addressing any aspect of the situation in Jammu and Kashmir, which he stressed is an internal matter of India.
कश्मीर भारत का अभिन्न अंग है, रहेगा। पाक ऑक्युपाइड कश्मीर भी लेकर रहेंगे। ये नारे लगाने वालों से कोई फर्क पड़ने वाला नहीं है।
Pakistan on Monday invited India for talks on Kashmir, saying it is the international obligation of both countries to resolve the issue. The invitation came amid tension in bilateral ties due to the war of words between the two nations over the issue.
पाकिस्तान जो है वो अब अंडर प्रेशर है, बहुत ज़्यादा प्रेशर में है और वो बगैर बातचीत करे बहुत समय तक नहीं रह सकता। तो मैं समझता हूँ कि उसकी वजह से उन्होंने मिक्स स्टेटमेंट दिए हैं। एक तरफ तो अपनी जनता को दिखाने के लिए सरताज अजीज से कंडेम कराया है प्रधानमंत्री मोदी के स्टेटमेंट को, दूसरी तरफ उन्होंने बातचीत की भी बात की है, इसलिए कि पाकिस्तान की इंटरनल सिचुएशन उसको बहुत ज़्यादा परमिट नहीं करती, इसलिए कि भारत का एक फर्म स्टैंड अब है, उसमें कोई कंप्रोमाइज़ नहीं होगा।
हमारे जबरन जो ऑक्युपाई किया गया है उस हिस्से में अगर ह्यूमन राइट्स का वायलेशन होता है तो उसको भी हम कंडेम कर रहे हैं। और वो जब यहाँ पर हमारे इंटरनल मैटर में इंटरफियर कर रहे हैं तो यही बताता है कि उनके पास ह्यूमन राइट्स को तो इतना वायलेट हो रहा है, कोई बात करने वाले नहीं है। यहाँ तो हमारे संविधान के मुताबिक हम चल रहे हैं, यहाँ पर कोई चीज का वायलेशन नहीं है।
Last week, India made it clear that it will talk on contemporary and relevant issues in Indo-Pak relations. It also included a cessation of Pakistan-supported cross-border terrorism. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And we're joined by KP Nair, consulting editor at The Telegraph, to help us understand, KP, as far as India-Pakistan relations go, continuous diplomatic tussle between the two sides, and it seems that it will continue for some time now.
Well, I have a slightly different view than most strategic analysts and media expert on this. I have the feeling, watching the events, that India and Pakistan are actually moving closer. little by little towards having talks. Because if you look closely at today's response by Foreign Secretary Jaishankar to Pakistan's proposal yesterday for talks, India has not really rejected the talks. Jaishankar has said that he is willing to go to Islamabad for talks, but on issues related to cross-border terrorism, violence in Kashmir that is fomented from outside. So the issue is not that India is not willing to talk. India is willing to talk, but India is willing to talk on issues of its choice. And Jaishankar's reply specifically says that Pakistan has no locus standi on Kashmir. So we are not willing to talk on Kashmir as proposed by Pakistan, but India is not rejecting talks altogether.
Right. KP, also talking about the overall nature of the relationship, you just mentioned that this in fact could be a sign that both the countries are moving forward towards talks. But what would the talks focus on? Because, I mean, that's been the contention that the last time around Balochistan or any other issue was mentioned in the talks context, talks have been called off. And given the fact that the SAARC summit engagements are going to be happening this year, do we see consensus kind of emerging towards the later part of the year when the Prime Minister is expected to travel to Islamabad?
You see, there are two parts to your question. First of all, about talks. What there is to talk between India and Pakistan, the differences between the two sides is not any new issue. When we arrived at the idea of a composite dialogue with Pakistan in the 90s, it took at least 2 years to work out that the agenda, you see. So what there is to talk to Pakistan has always been an issue, and it will continue to be an issue. But that doesn't mean that there won't be talks. Secondly, about the SAARC thing, that is actually a silver lining on the horizon, because at the moment, the resuming the dialogue between India and Pakistan is not just an India-Pakistan issue in the short run. There are other countries involved. There are the other South Asian countries involved because they have a stake in the SAARC summit, which is to be held in November, you see. So neither India nor Pakistan can afford to displease the other South Asian countries and walk away from the SAARC summit. So because the SAARC summit has to take place and because the Indian Prime Minister's presence is required in Islamabad under the SAARC Charter to have the summit, it is very likely that there will be some window dressing, there will be some patchwork arrangement. It may not last beyond November, but I am optimistic that things are not as bleak as they are made out to be in the last 1 week.
All right, so you're saying there's silver lining still there. KP Nair, thank you very much for coming in and helping us understand this present situation between India and Pakistan. Meanwhile, moving on, militants attacked a military convoy in Kashmir today, killing 3 security personnel. Reports suggest that the militants were taking advantage of the unrest to attack security forces after years of declining violence. Early this morning, heavily armed militants ambushed an army convoy. 2 jawans and a policeman were killed in the ambush.
Another militant attack in Kashmir early on Wednesday. Heavily armed gunmen ambushed an army convoy in the wee hours, killing 2 soldiers and 1 policeman. The incident occurred at Khwaja Bagh in Baramulla district, just 2 days after militants attacked a CRPF vehicle and killed a commandant.
इसमें जो एक आर्मी की कॉन्वॉय थी जिसमें हमारी पुलिस की भी एक गाड़ी थी, उसके ऊपर फायर किया गया जिसमें हमारे 2 आर्मी के और 1 पुलिस का जवान शहीद हुए हैं.
The spate of attacks in Kashmir come despite large parts of the valley being under curfew since the last 40 days after the killing of Hizbul commander Burhan Wani. As many as 63 people have been killed in the unrest that followed, while thousands have been injured. Opposition parties have upped the ante against both the centre as well as the state government.
मैं उनसे फिर गुजारिश करूंगा, आपको पाकिस्तान की राजनीति करने में तो आपने पहले प्राइम मिनिस्टर ओथ लेने से ही शुरू कर दिया था, रेड कारपेट, और उसको ख़त्म किया शादी में अटेंड करके. 2 साल 4 साल 5 साल 6 साल 7 साल 8 साल 9 साल 10 साल 11 साल 12 साल 13 साल 14 साल 15 साल 16 साल 17 साल 18 साल 19 साल 20 साल 21 साल 22 साल 23 साल 24 साल 25 साल 26 साल 27 साल 28 साल 29 साल 30 साल 31 साल 32 साल 33 साल 34 साल 35 साल 36 साल 37 साल 38 साल 39 साल 40 साल 41 साल 42 साल 43 साल 44 साल 45 साल 46 साल 47 साल 48 साल 49 साल 50 साल 51 साल 52 साल 53 साल 54 साल 55 साल 56 साल 57 साल 58 साल 59 साल 60 साल 61 साल 62 साल 63 साल 64 साल 65 साल 66 साल 67 साल 68 साल 69 साल 70 साल 71 साल 72 साल 73 साल 74 साल 75 साल 76 साल 77 साल 78 साल 79 साल तो वो आप करिए, उसे कोई रोकता नहीं है, लेकिन पहले अपने सर के ताज को तो बचाइए, उस पर भी तो कुछ बोलिए। हम ये नहीं कहते हैं सीधे आप दूसरे दिन पाकिस्तान से डायलॉग करो, लेकिन अपने घर वालों से तो डायलॉग करो।
The situation is actually becoming much more critical. The solution lies, what we have said in the parliament, what is said at the all-party meeting, is to start a political dialogue. Start with all the stakeholders an immediate political dialogue. And we suggested, and I think it should be done on an urgent footing, that the government must lead an all-party delegation, parliamentary delegation. And before doing that, the government must do its homework on the groups that were formed earlier, whose reports are there, available before all of us.
Meanwhile, the centre blames Pakistan for escalating the crisis.
That the entire world now is coming around to India's viewpoint. And the entire world is now identifying not only the perpetrators of terrorism, but also the manner in which terrorism is being promoted and is also being trained from the Pakistan soil for the purpose of cross-terrorism.
Normal life, meanwhile, continues to remain paralyzed in the valley. Flag marches were held in several areas in the wake of militant attacks. Separatist groups, on the other hand, have called for a march to the UN office in Kashmir to impress upon the global body to intervene and resolve the issue. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The Speaker of the Tamil Nadu Assembly has suspended all DMK opposition MLAs from the House for a week. This after they strongly protested against remarks made by a ruling AIADMK member. Leader of opposition Stalin and DMK members objected to a comment made by an AIADMK member, Gunasekaran, on Stalin's roadshow. They also demanded that the remarks be expunged. The Speaker, however, refused to expunge the remarks since the AIADMK member had not mentioned any names. DMK members continued to interrupt the proceedings, after which the Speaker ordered marshals to evict the MLAs.
நாங்கள் புதியவர்கள் முதன்முறையாக ஒரு வரலாற்று சிறப்புமிக்க சட்டமன்றத்திலே மக்களுடைய பிரதிநிதியாக கலந்து கொண்டு மக்களுடைய பிரச்சனைகளை விவாதம் செய்யக்கூடிய ஒரு மாமன்றத்திலே மக்களுடைய பிரச்சனைகளை விவாதங்கள் செய்யாமல் தன்னுடைய திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தை சார்ந்த சட்டமன்ற உறுப்பினர்கள் தொடர்ந்து தங்களை பற்றியும் தங்கள் தலைமையை பற்றியும் தங்கள் தலைவர்களை பற்றியும்
brutal action taken by the speaker. It is unwanted and undemocratic. It is a black day of the history of this assembly.
Now, the centre has announced names of new governors for Punjab, Assam, Manipur and the Lieutenant Governor for Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Former Union Minister for Minority Affairs, Najma Heptullah, will serve as Governor of Manipur, while election-bound Punjab will have a new governor in BJP leader and former Rajya Sabha MP, VP Singh Badnor. BJP leader and former Nagaur MP, Banwari Lal Purohit, has been appointed Governor of Assam, while Delhi-based BJP leader and former MLA Jagdish Mukhi has been appointed Lieutenant Governor of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The President had already made the appointments, which will take effect from the dates when the incumbents assume charge of their office.
जिम्मेदारी मिली है, हमारे पूरे मित्र परिवार में आनंद है। जो जिम्मेदारी मिली है उसको पूरा प्रयत्न के साथ में बखूबी निभाएंगे। राष्ट्र की सेवा का मौका है और इसमें भारत के संविधान की रक्षा करने की जिम्मेदारी है। जो भी जिम्मेदारी होगी उसको बहुत ही अच्छी तरह से निभाएंगे।
Naturally, my first reaction is thanking the Prime Minister and the party for reposing such a responsible job to me, and I hope that I will be able to perform according to their expectation. I had known Manipur because I was visiting Manipur number of times before the last election when I was in the party as a member of parliament and otherwise. And when we were in the cabinet, the Prime Minister told all of us, all the cabinet ministers, to visit Manipur every 15 days. And now that he has given me this responsibility, I'll be there, working over there for the people.
The Supreme Court has ruled that those below the age of 18 years cannot participate in the Dahi Handi festival. Dahi Handi is a popular ceremony held on the second day of Janmashtami. The apex court has also restricted the height of the human pyramid to 20 feet, adding that it was dangerous to allow small children to participate in the ceremony. The order came in response to a clarification sought by the Maharashtra government on the August 2014 verdict by the Bombay High Court that limited the height of such pyramids to 20 feet. In 2013, 190 people were injured while participating in the ritual.
The Honorable Supreme Court has said that nobody can participate who is below the age of 18 years. And the height of the Dayandi must be 20 feet, not above that. And it will be all over Maharashtra or all over country.
Some more national news stories now nationwide. Retired bureaucrat from Kerala, K.J. Alphonse, is tipped to be the administrator of Chandigarh. His appointment comes as the reversal of a 32-year-old practice of the Punjab governor holding the charge of the Union Territory. The president's nod on Alphonse's name is awaited. The Supreme Court sought the response of the Gujarat government on the petition filed by Teesta Setalwad, her husband Javed Anand and two NGOs. The petitions challenged the freezing of accounts by the crime branch of the Ahmedabad police. The court has now fixed the matter for hearing on the 21st of September. The death toll from the suspected consumption of spurious liquor in Bihar's Gopalganj district rose to 13 today, with 8 more people dying in the past 12 hours. The incident came to light on Tuesday after 5 people were admitted to the civil hospital complaining of uneasiness and vomiting. While locals and family members allege that the deaths took place due to illicit liquor, the district administration claims other reasons could have caused the deaths. The roof of a temple building collapsed in Ayodhya, killing at least 2 and injuring 5 others. The injured were immediately rushed to a government hospital. According to the eyewitnesses and investigating officers, the temple building was very old. Notice was issued to the owner of the building. Further investigation is underway. Time for us to take a short break. Lots more on the other side.
From cowries to metal pieces, Indian currency has seen many changes. The earliest punch-marked coins came from Gandhar. The East India Company at the turn of the 19th century also minted its own coins. The Indo-Greek coins come from a colony left behind by Alexander. They depict the golden rule of the Guptas, with embossed human portraits and matrimonial alliances like Chandragupta Maurya's wedding with Seleucus I Nicator's daughter.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. Some sports news now. And day 11 of the game saw Jamaica adding another gold in athletics. We'll talk about India first. And after an inspiring win from PV Sindhu, badminton has kindled India's hopes for a medal at the Rio Olympics. On day 12, shuttler Kidambi Srikanth is eyeing for a semi-final berth in the men's singles section, while women wrestlers are also in the fray for medals.
पॉइंट पर 10-10.
Dan from China. Srikanth has a 1-2 win-loss record against the world number 3, having beaten him in the China Open in 2014. Late last night, PV Sindhu defeated China's Wang Yihan 22-20, 21-19 in a thrilling encounter to reach the semi-finals. In freestyle wrestling, women grapplers Vinesh Phogat and Sakshi Malik will begin their campaigns. Vinesh will be seen in action in the first round of 48 kg weight class, while Sakshi will feature in the qualifications of the 58 kg division. And in athletics, Tintu Luka will be in action in the 800 meters heats. Now, overall on day 11, the Games saw Jamaica adding another gold in athletics, while one more world record tumbled in wrestling. American gymnast Simone Biles finished her Rio campaign with a gold in floor exercise. Here's all the action.
Jamaica added another gold medal in athletics after Omar McLeod won the men's 110 meters hurdles. The 22-year-old came into the race as the favourite and produced a strong performance to win in a time of 13.05 seconds. Spain's Orlando Ortega won the silver, with France's Mitri Bakou taking the bronze. American Christian Taylor retained his Olympic triple jump title with the season's best leap of 17.86 meters. The 26-year-old champion set his best mark in round 1. Fellow American Will Clay took silver with a personal best jump of 17.76 meters, while China's Bin Dong secured the bronze. In weightlifting, Lasha Talakdaz of Georgia set a new world record in the over 105 kg division with a total lift of 473 kilos. Talakdaz upset the heavily favoured Iranian Behzad Salimi. In cycling, Britain's Jason Kenny won the men's track carrying to take his gold medal haul to 6 and equal Chris Hoy's record for the country's most Olympic titles. In gymnastics, American Simone Biles finished her Rio campaign with 4 gold medals. In her last apparatus final, Biles won the women's floor exercise with 15.966 points. Fellow American Alexandra Reisman took the silver and Britain's Amy Tinkler won the bronze. Robson Consacao won host Brazil's first ever Olympic boxing gold with victory over Sofiane Omiha of France in the men's 60 kg final. Brazil had won 3 boxing medals at the 2012 London Games, 1 silver and 2 bronze. Meanwhile, in diving, China continued its dominance as Cao Yuan won the men's individual 3-meter springboard event to give China its 5th diving gold medal of the Games. In hockey, Argentina humiliated double defending Olympic champions Germany 5-2 to reach the men's final for the first time. They will now face Belgium in the final, who beat Netherlands 3-1 in the other semi-final. In the overall medals tally on day 11, the United States leads the table with 84 medals that include 28 gold, 28 silver and 28 bronze. Britain maintains the second spot with 19 gold, while China stands at the third spot with 17 gold, 15 silver and 19 bronze medals. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, some international news. In the US presidential campaign is hotting up by the day and is taking on the shape of a more personal fight instead of an ideological one. Both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are leaving no stone unturned in deriding the other during their campaign outings across the country.
As the November 8th election approaches, the campaigns of both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are becoming increasingly aggressive. On the campaign trail, both nominees hardly let go of any opportunity to deride the other. On Tuesday, Clinton was in West Philadelphia, where she told supporters that Donald Trump was created fear and pessimism in American voters.
I was thinking the other day, when Donald Trump speaks, he speaks about fear. He speaks about such negativity and such pessimism. And then I watch the Olympics, and it's exactly the opposite. You have young people going out doing their best every day to get prepared to compete. And that's what we're going to do in America.
The Republican presidential nominee, on the other hand, called for more police on the streets, saying Hillary Clinton was against the police. Trump visited Milwaukee days after the city was hit by unrest over the fatal police shooting of a black man. He said initial evidence pointed that the shooting was justified.
Crime and violence is an attack on the poor and will never be accepted in a Trump administration. The narrative has been pushed aggressively for years, and now by our current administration and pushed by my opponent, Hillary Clinton, you know, is a totally false one. You know that. The problem in our poorest communities is not that there are too many police. The problem is that there are not enough police.
His aggressive rhetoric apart, Trump has fallen behind in opinion polls. The former Secretary of State has a 6 percentage point lead over Trump in a latest poll. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Some international news now on Global Buzz. China and ASEAN have agreed to complete a code of conduct to ease tensions in the disputed South China Sea by next year. Since 2010, China and the 10 members of ASEAN have been discussing a set of rules aimed at avoiding conflict among rival claimants. This is the third meeting on the Quad this year. The Speaker of Iran's parliament has stressed that Russia does not have a permanent military base within the Islamic Republic. This a day after Moscow announced launching airstrikes on Syria from Iran. Russian warplanes being allowed to take off from Iranian territory is an unprecedented move, and it underscores the deepening cooperation between the two powerhouses heavily invested in the Syrian civil war. The comments by the Speaker are geared at easing domestic concerns over the strikes. Turkey issued a decree on Wednesday, paving the way for the conditional release of 38,000 prisoners. This is an apparent move to reduce its prison population to make space for thousands of people who've been arrested as part of an investigation into last month's failed coup. The decree allows the release of inmates who have 2 years or less to serve of their prison terms and makes convicts who have served half their prison term eligible for parole. Indonesia has destroyed at least 8 illegal fishing and foreign fishing vessels in various locations ahead of its 71st Independence Day. With this, Indonesia intensifies its campaign to exercise maritime sovereignty. This campaign aims to stop foreign fishermen from stealing in its waters. Earlier this year, Indonesia and the United States announced a partnership program to improve marine law enforcement in order to cut down illegal fishing. That's all from us. Goodbye.